So we're moving to China.
Minding my business, humming a song. I'm happy by myself, not a care in the world. This is a life, just me, myself, and I am watching the clouds up in the sky, all but laughing out loud. I'm telling you why I'm living the life, just me, myself, and I.
After so much packing this week, I really needed that cup of coffee. International packing is a beast. It's no longer how much can the U-Haul truck actually carry. It's how much do you want to pay per pound of your junk that you're moving. You'd think after having lived in an 18-foot cargo trailer for 2 years, we'd be downsized enough to make any move easy. But the truth is, we've hung on to a lot of stuff for all of the what-if scenarios. What if I need to wear dress clothes that I haven't worn in 5 years? What if I need a third way to purify water? What if I want to go backpacking in Yellowstone for 5 days? Okay, we actually did that, but 5 years ago. The point is, I've lived my entire life having these what-if thoughts pop into my head, and they've caused me to buy an extraordinary amount of stuff, and they weren't things that fit me as a person and who I am. They were instead a way of covering up an unmet need or an emotion that I wasn't ready to yet address. I mean, let's look back to the dress clothes. I haven't worn dress clothes in 5 years except for my PhD defense. And so why am I hanging on to dress clothes? First thought that comes to my mind is, well, I have older family members. They're gonna pass away at some point, unfortunately. That's how life works. I need to hang on to some dress clothes because that's the only situation I can see myself dressing up, to be honest. This is my normal attire for 365 days out of the year. I'm not gonna wear a purple tie to a funeral if that were to happen. So why am I hanging on to it? It's because I'm not ready to address the fact that people in my family will pass away at some day. You know, that's the emotion that's not being addressed, and instead I'm coddling that emotion by hanging on to something that doesn't even solve a problem that I yet have. And it's not just about purchasing things, it's also about hanging on to things. There are things that I haven't touched in 5-10 years, and we've downsized from a house to an 18-foot cargo trailer, and I still have them. I don't know how that happened, but it happens. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. I mean, how many things have been sitting in a box or a cabinet that you haven't touched in 6 months at least? It just happens. Stuff accumulates. But when you're trying to live intentionally and then make a big move like this, you have to confront those things. And sometimes confronting those things means confronting those emotions. So my new rule when I'm going through things or prior to making a purchase is if I catch myself thinking, but what if, is to come to a complete stop and challenge that thought. Is this what if coming from a fear or an unmet need? And if so, I need to address that emotion instead of pacifying it with an object. Sometimes I can work through this myself in my own head, and other times I need someone else, like my wife, to discuss this with. I feel like we've got the packing pretty much under control. Still a lot left for sure, but it's looking like such a nice day out, and I really can't resist the chance to get just one more ride in before we leave Utah. So let's go. Oh, well, that felt so good. Cycling has really shifted from being a hobby to a lifestyle for Leon Fong and I over the past 8 months or so. But all right, back to it. Time to get some protein and recovery in and finish this packing up. So I've tried making this video like 2 or 3 times since June, and I keep failing because I was having a hard time trying to figure out how to simplify why China and this decision for us. And the answer is there is no simple answer. And I'm just going to end up having to show you guys instead of just tell you guys. We were trying to find the next place to call home. Boston never really felt like home to us. It didn't quite click with us. We were there for 7 years. And we've now been able to travel coast to coast, the entire country, and nothing has quite clicked. Nothing felt like home to us until we left the US on a plane last year, ironically. So we went to China for 2 weeks, and I had the chance to see where Elsie is from and her home, and we got to experience it together. It's a different experience for her because I was there. Everything started to click and it just felt right and made sense for us. It felt like a new adventure awaiting for us that we didn't know was even there. So we came back from the trip, and as what often happens when you come back from a really good trip, you start getting into your daily routine and you start feeling like you just came out of a dream, you know? You come back to reality, so to speak. And we started putting all these what ifs out there between us, and came up with the idea that we needed to have 1 to 5 years to make this transition out of the trailer in order to move to China. And you can justify anything you want. And we did justify it. We had a lot of, what if this happens? What if we can't get rid of the trailer and sell it to the right person? What if we can't switch my visa over to a Q1 visa? Just what are we going to do for living when we're there? All these what ifs. And so we came up with this plan of 1 to 5 years, and we started to execute on that plan. And things weren't falling into place on executing that plan. Nothing felt right during the execution. And so we stopped and we questioned, why are we having all these what ifs? Why are we putting all these conditions on ourselves? And really it came out of, a bit of fear of the unknown. Moving to China is a huge unknown for so many different aspects of life. But there is a lot that we do know. And we do know that it feels right for us. And to detail out exactly why that is in a video doesn't really make sense. I'm just gonna have to take you guys along with and show you. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. So, make sure you're subscribed in order to come along and see these next adventures with us in China. I have no idea what exactly we're gonna get up to there. I have some idea of what it might look like, but I'm open to life changing quite a bit. And it just feels like there's so much potential and opportunity for us there, and to adventure and to bring you guys along. I think it's going to be really interesting to show you what daily life is in China for a foreigner, an American. Once we addressed that mindset, it only took us 2 months to be able to make all of this happen. And there was a lot that had to happen in those 2 months. All summer we have been going nonstop. But when we knew that it was going to happen, we decided to take one last low hoorah camping trip to our favorite place in Colorado mountains. Just the truck, just the 2 of us, back in our favorite spot. And it was really nice to go back there and reflect on where we've been over the past 2 years, where life has taken us, how we've grown. So much has changed. At the same time, not as much has changed. But to reflect on how much we've grown and to discuss what our future adventures are going to look like. And hope to bring you guys along and see you in our next adventure in the next video. Take it easy.